Hey guys, I'm Team Yoshi. Welcome to once again another storyline video that I'm reading from Geeky. Yeah, I have said that in previous week that I would either do Daisy or Rosalina's story when Geeky's live stream is over. And seeing Rosalina's story barely beat out the one that Daisy has, we have decided to do that one previous week. Now we're going to be doing Daisy's story, which is of course The Legend of the Angry Sun. The reason why you can't see it is because I'll be putting on I'm going to be putting on something pretty soon. But yeah, the one who is going to be reading this story is of course my queen. Hey everyone, I'm Princess Daisy. Well, I'm very excited to read this story because you so far only have read stories from Rosalina. Yep, and seeing this story from Daisy was great, and seeing it also includes 15 Dias. Well, I thought it was 16, but that was Rosalina's story. We are, of course, going to be doing this. By the way, as you all probably may know, Peach and Rosalina are included of the story, but you won't be able to see them in the screen. By the way, as you all probably may know, and THX also knows it, we cannot start a story without, of course, a great intro. And speaking of intro, let's get this one started. I put it up a high volume, so let's just get the intro started, guys. Geeky does that a lot with the characters, and I'm doing it just from YouTube. Alright, it's time for me to read then. Yes it is, Daisy. I'll lead it off to you. The Legend of the Angry Sun by Princess Daisy of Sarasaland. By the way, guys, I am halfway done with my story on my presentation, so when I eventually will get live, I'll be happy to show it with you guys. But it's very, very long. But I'll show you guys at another time. Agenda. The origin of the Angry Sun tale. Who made Mr. Sun mad? Sightings of the Angry Sun. Witnessing the Angry Sun's firsthand. Rosalina's theory. Bowser's Galaxy Fortress and the Sun. The great mission into outer space. That's what we have here. The origin of the Angry Sun's tale. For centuries, many people in Sarasaland have thought the Angry Sun was simply a myth or a children's book story. In fact, the children's book Who Made Mr. Sun Mad is a well-known classic Sarasaland childhood story. Who Made Mr. Sun Mad? Part 1. Once upon a time, there lived Mr. Sun in the sky. His bright rays would shine down on all the happy people on the beach. He smiled with pride because he knew he lit up the sky and made summer days special for everyone. One morning, Mr. Sun rose up into the sky for a brand new day of shining down on the beach. As the clouds began to clear and make more room for his light, he discovered that the beach was empty. Who Made Mr. Sun Mad? Part 2. Where is everyone? Mr. Sun thought. He waited and waited and waited, but still, nobody had come to the beach. Mr. Sun began to heat up with anger. His rays became spiky, and he was sizzling hot. The beach's sand was cracking through all his fury hot rage. Yeah, here you can see the sun kind of angry. Sightings of the Angry Sun. I think back to when Mario was on his mission in Sarasaland to squash Tatanga's evil plans. After I was rescued, we had a celebration dinner at the castle. That was when Mario told us that he had been chased by the sun on several different occasions. I laughed and said, well, someone knows their Sarasaland lore. That was when Mario looked up at me with a serious but warm expression on his face. I really was chased by the sun. We wouldn't believe it. I thought the Angry Sun was just a little story all my life. However, I had to see it to believe it. Was the sun out there annoying anyone in its path? Yeah, the voice that Team Yoshi just did, that was just Mario. Because that's exactly what he said. Witnessing the angry sun firsthand. Hey, there's me in my cart. Creative photo. I was on a car trip with my friends Rosalina and Peach, taking an old sandy road down to the beach. We were having a lot of fun and singing songs together when suddenly I had to hold down the brakes. In my windscreen view was a very angry, shiny face. It was so bright that I thought it would blind us all. We all screamed, and I freaked out and tried to use my windscreen wiper to get it away from us. It wasn't until this mysterious face moved back that I realized it was the sun. The angry sun rose back up into the sky, looking left and right, and as if he was searching for other drivers to scare off. "Whoa! That's just so creepy!" Peach said, covering her mouth in horror. Angry sun. I think that was the angry sun, were my only words. Seeing is believing. I froze in my seat after what the three of us had just witnessed. When Mario first came here to the kingdom, he mentioned the sun chasing him. I laughed it off and joked that he had learned a lot about our old tales. Peach shook her head and asked, "Do you know why the sun is acting up like this?" "Not really. A book I read as a kid basically said it's because the local villagers were terrible friends for not going to the beach to hang out with them," I replied. Rosalina held her hand to her chin, deep in thought. Hold on a second. I think this makes a lot of sense from a solar system point of view. I mean, Rosalina's theory. After we safely made it back to the castle, oh, whoops, I was supposed to read that. Excuse me. After we safely made it back to my castle after our girls' trip, the three of us sat together to ask what Rosalina thought of the angry sun. Well, in a galaxy, there are many planets. The sun, however, is said to be a massive, huge hot ball of gas. The planets each have their own defining traits, but the sun is simply the sun. Peach and I blinked in confusion. "Could you please explain a little more?" I asked quietly. "Okay, so picture this. Imagine each planet as in different individuals that all have unique talents and strength. However, the sun is more of a supporting character who doesn't get much attention or recognition. I think this may be why the sun is unhappy. Other planets have life forms, different forms of extendance, but the sun doesn't." Bowser's Galaxy and the Sun, which is of course the fate of the universe, the last galaxy in Super Mario Galaxy 1. So basically, the sun is jealous that he's just a hot ball of gas, I asked Rosalina. She nodded in agreement. Yes, that's it. Funny enough, that dreaded Bowser tried to harness the sun's energy in the creation of his own galaxy. I suppose it would make sense to see the sun form an alliance with the Koopa King, because then he would get some recognition. Rosalina sighed and frowned. He would be awfully jealous of the little Lumas, so I have had to teach them why we never really pay visits to Mr. Sun. How can we help? One afternoon, the three of us sat in the green grass outside Peach's castle, deep in thought about the angry sun, and what we could do to make sure he doesn't scare anyone else. Peach suddenly sat up and grinned. Oh, I think I have an idea, she exclaimed. Oh yeah? What is it? Rosalina and I asked eagerly. Well, you know how Bowser tried to use the sun for his galaxy? We could just make one that's not run by a villain, Peach explains, scratching her head and not looking too confident. I have an idea. Rosalina giggled at Peach's suggestion. Oh, Peach, I don't think that will be easy. The sun is very dangerous celestial body to manipulate in outer space. I think we need to think of something else. We sat in silence under the shade of the tree, pondering the solution. Suddenly, I had yeah, it's a hard word. It's an epiphany. I sprang up from the grass, dusted off my dress, and exclaimed, "Oh, I think I have the answer!" Peach and Rosalina looked up at me with hopeful eyes. Restoring a historic tradition. If we can't exactly make a sun planet, there is this old Sarasalan tradition, the Sun Festival. It was especially big in the Chai province of the kingdom. It hasn't appeared for decades at this point. Oh, but why was it stopped for so long? Peach asked. Well, I think they noticed the sun acting furious and scary. They felt it might make him calm down, I replied. The Sun Festival. The Sun Festival was held in Sarasaland to celebrate the power and beauty of the sun. The celebrations ceased after the citizens noticed that the fun was acting more bitter and angry almost, as if they had grounded the sun. This, however, only added fuel to the fire of rage. If the sun was angry because he didn't feel as special as a planet or a galaxy, then taking away his only time to shine and be appreciated was a horrible idea. So Rosalina, Peach, and I decided to restore this long-lost tradition. Pleasing the sun. We all gathered for the Sun Festival in central Chai province of Sarasaland. It was amazing to see how many people had come. Many of my friends were there, such as Rosalina, Peach, and the Mario Bros. We each had a lantern with the sun engraved on it. With our sun lanterns brightly lit, we represented the power and might of the sun. This little flame we each held, burning brightly, could never compare to the furious strength of the sun. We dedicated the town with orange and yellow streamers, and the young toads wore sun costumes. We're so sorry that we weren't there to remind you of your worth, Mr. Sun. Now we are back always and forever for years to come. The end. Wow, Daisy, I would say you definitely read pretty well. And well, Geeky and THX, I really hope you guys will enjoy this video. I'm gonna be also sending it like to Sebastian, Pretty Girl, or maybe even other people that love Geeky. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I hope you all enjoyed me reading, well, my Daisy reading, of course. The story, which is about the legend of the angry sun. That's probably what the story is called. But yeah, if you, but yeah, whenever Geeky has an amazing story, I'm obviously gonna read it on a Monday. If there isn't an amazing story, whichever one comes close, I'll be reading it Monday instead. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. A hint for you, Peach, because I haven't read your story yet. If you want your story to be appearing on my channel, try to make something maybe with like Mario or maybe even Daisy. I would definitely like if you make something with Daisy in your story. It's not a request, it's not a demand, it's just a hint that I'm giving you. You don't have to do it, but then you wouldn't have a chance to come to my video. But yeah, make sure, Peach, if you're making a story, Geeky Speech, I mean, add my Daisy in it. And then you'll maybe be coming to my channel. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. I really hope you guys enjoyed the video. And to you, THX, the 20th Century Fox intro. And I'll see you all next time. Bye-bye, everybody. I hope you all enjoyed my reading.